Hi, Comp100 scholars. This is Professor K here, and I'm going to be showing you the week 3 lab using a Mac computer. So I don't have access to the actual SimNet lab, so I'm going to simulate some things for you. Let me share my screen. And okay, I'm sharing this screen right now. Okay, so as with any SimNet course that you're going to, or project you're going to do, you're going to be in your modules within your class. This happens to be BIS 155, but just think that it's Comp 100. You're going to scroll down to your class. This one happens to be week 3, so I'm going to just go in here for week 3. Again, this is for BIS 155, but soon I'll switch over to Comp 100. And you're going to get a window here that allows you to watch a video, or you can actually go into the SimNet project. So when I click on here, here's going to load. Now this initial screen is something that I see being a professor. You will not see this, but the next screen that comes up, once I click here, this is what you'll see when you go into SimNet. Okay, and then you have one of two choices when you go into SimNet. Here you'll see that you have your download section, you have your upload section. Now, you're not going to worry about your submit section until you've downloaded and you've uploaded your file. So in your download, you'll either have one or multiple files. If you have one file, you'll just see a single start file. You click on that and it will download it. If you have multiple files, you can actually click your file download wizard. Now it's going to download them individually. It's not going to compress them or zip them or anything like that. It's just going to download them individually. So you'll get 2 or more download files, and they're all going to go in the same location. So I'm just going to click here. Let's assume it's a single start file. You see that it downloaded in a Mac. It puts it up here. You have one of 3 options. Now, I highly recommend that you start incorporating some basic file management into your normal operations with your computer so that you can keep track of things. And so let me show you what I mean by that. So what I'm going to show you is you saw that you downloaded the file. It downloaded here. It's going to download it to your downloads folder. But I highly recommend that you do not work there. On a Mac, you want to go into Finder. And when Finder comes up, you can obviously see that in your download, there's the file I just downloaded. SimNet's going to put your name, append it to the beginning of the file, and then it's going to have the file name. If it's the first time you download it, it'll just be a .docsx, which is for a Word document. If it's the second or multiple times, then you'll have either in parentheses, you'll either have 1, 2, 3, or 4. But you could work with it here in your downloads, but as you can see in my downloads, I have a bunch of stuff, and it's easy for things to get lost or misplaced or get confused, and you only have so many attempts, pardon me, with SimNet. And so you don't want to burn an attempt just because you grabbed the wrong file. So what I recommend you do, and we went over this last time, is here's my DeVry University OneDrive. Now you get a OneDrive. It's a way to store files in the cloud, so you don't have to worry about a backup. I highly recommend that you work with DeVry Tech Support and get that set up for you. But wherever you're going to do it, create something like classes taken. I have mine as classes taught, but you could have something that's classes taken. And then within there, I have all of the term start dates. So we're in January 2026. And then you can see these are the 2 classes I'm teaching, but it could be the 2 classes you're taking. And then you go into there, and I always recommend that you set up a preview week folder and then 8 week folders, week 1 through week 8. Now you have in your downloads, I'm going to open up another Finder window. Okay. And so in this Finder window, I'm going to be in my downloads directory, and there's the file I have. Now I want to make sure that I put that into the correct week. So I would come over here to week 3, and I would just move this file, single click on it, right? And drag it up and drop it. It's going to move it out of your downloads. You're not going to work with it anymore. And now you know you're working in week 3 of your Comp100 class. So I would put it in there specifically. This way you can work with it in there, less chance of you getting lost. And I would recommend you do this for all of your classes going forward, so that you can organize and keep things straight and not lose anything. Okay, so you can see in my week 3, I have the file. Now this has Dr. Whitcamp's name in front of it because she sent me the file to work with you and to show you how to do this. I'm not going to be uploading it to SimNet, so there will not be any problem, but you do know, I hope you know, that you have to be the one to download your file, you have to be the one to work on your file, and then you have to be the one to upload your file. When you download it, it will insert your name in the beginning of the file, and it also embeds your name and your student ID into the file, so that when you upload it, SimNet's going to check to make sure that you were the one that downloaded it, you were the one that worked on it, and you were the one that uploaded it. If any one of those 3 events do not correspond to your name and your student ID, then you will produce what's called an academic violation, and then your professor is going to have to work with you to see what happened. I know we all want to help one another by, if somebody's having an issue downloading a file, we'll just send them the file we have so then they can work on it. Not going to work. You have to download it, you have to work on it, and you have to upload it. So this is the file for the week 3, and then Dr. Whitcamp also gave me the directions. So when I open this up, you're going to see that this is going to look just like you see in your SimNet. It's got your instructions, it's got everything that we have to do, and this is what we're going to go through, and I'm going to walk you through each one of these individually. So let me move this over here, and I'm going to open up this Word document, and I will bring this over here so that you can see it. And I'll make it full screen, large enough so that you can see it on either live or, in this case, the recording. Okay, so this is what you see when you open up the Word file. And I'm going to turn off this because that's not normal. It's because I was working on something else. All right, so now we're going to start, and here's the things that we're going to be covering in this project. So again, you can see them right here. I'll just make them a little bit larger, and we'll enlarge this. And okay, so we're going to modify an existing document. And then within that document, we'll change the margins. We'll apply a document theme and theme color, change the font size, the line spacing, and paragraph spacing. So all the text within the document. We're going to apply a style to specific text that we select, modifying an existing style. And then we're going to apply borders and shading to selected text, set and use a tab stop with an underlined header, leader. Apply and modify a multi-level list, use the increase indent button, insert a page break, insert a built-in page number in the footer, use find to locate a word in the document, insert a link to a place in the document, and then view the document in side-by-side view. And that should cover everything we're going to do in this project, in this lab. So I'm going to move this over here so that you just see, and I'll increase the font just a little bit, make it a little bit easier. Okay, so now you did notice that when I opened this file up, it allowed me to start working on it right away. There's no banner up here that says this is in read-only mode or protected mode, and you must click enable in order to edit it. More than likely, when you download your start file, you will see that banner. You just need to make sure you click edit. If you're clicking within the document and you're not able to change anything, just check right up here, right below the main ribbon, and you should see a banner that says this is in read-only mode or protected mode, and you must click enable in order to edit it. All right, so We've got our insurance questionnaire. Here it is, insurance questionnaire. The file is right here. And it's our start file. And then we're going to change the margins of the document. That's the first thing. So step 3 is change the margins of the document. So we're going to click the margins button, which is in the layout tab. And up here, you'll find the layout tab. And we want to go to margins. Okay. And we want to select custom margins. And here's our custom margins down here. And you'll wait and you'll see a pop-up window. And this is giving you your dialog box to set your margins. And it says change the left and right margins to 0.75. So there's our left and there's our right. Now, as with anything in most application, when you're entering text or editing text, you have the ability to either, I can highlight this and change it. I can use the up and down arrows to change it, whatever I want it to do. So I'm just going to highlight this and I'm going to hit 0.75. And then I'm going to come down here to left and I'm going to do the same thing, 0.75. All right. And it says click OK. So you can see that it moved the margins over because they were set at 1 inch. Now they're only set at 0.75. So it actually moved this left margin over. And now we're going to go to step 4, which is to change the theme and color of the document. Okay, so we want to click the themes button, okay, which we have to go into the design tab. Okay, and we want to go into document formatting. And we want to select integral from the drop-down list. Okay. Let me see. Themes, design tab, document formatting group. Okay, these are the styles. We want document formatting. And we are changing the theme, so it's going to be over here. And it says integral. So we're going to look through this list, and we come down here, and we're going to find integral. Okay. So we select integral. Okay, so now the top portion is all integral, all through here. And it says select the colors button in the document formatting group. Let me find the... This is, we want to set the colors button. So step 4C says click the colors button, which is in the document formatting group. So this is our document formatting group. And here's our color button. So we're going to click the down arrow and it says, according to the instructions, we want to select aspect from the drop-down list. So we're going to scroll down and there's our aspect. We select that. Okay. And change the font size, paragraph spacing, and line spacing of the entire document. Okay, so step 5 says change the font size. So we want to press Command A because we're working on the entire document. So one option that we have is if we do a Command A, you're going to see that it selects all the text within the document. So then we can, whatever change we make is going to make that change throughout the entire document. And then we want to change the font size. So we're going to go back to home here and we want to change the entire document to a font size of 11. So I click the down arrow and we're going to select 11 and you'll see how it changed all the font and then the line spacing to single. So here we have our line spacing and we want it at single, which is right here. 1.0. We can have defaults are 1.15, 1.5, 2, 2.5, and 3. We want it 1.0. And then we want to change the after paragraph spacing to 6 point. And what that's going to do is after each paragraph, and from our last week, we know that if we click this, we can see where the paragraphs are. At the end of each one of these is a paragraph. So we know at the end of each one of those, the spacing is going to be changed to 6 points. So the way we do that, so again, with all of our text selected, all we have to do come up here is to format, paragraph, and this is for our step about formatting the paragraph spacing. And we select this, and now you see our paragraph option where we can change all the options within the paragraph. And we're going to set our after paragraph spacing to 6 points. So here's our spacing for our paragraph. We know we're working with paragraphs, we're working with our spacing, and we want the after paragraph spacing to be 6 points. Okay, leave the rest as they are. And let's see, and let's see. Yes. And we can click OK. All right. So now we're going to go to step 6. So we've changing that paragraph spacing, did it for all paragraphs within the document because we selected the entire document. That was with our Command A. So now we're going to, step 6 says apply styles to selected text. So we're going to place the insertion point in the first line of the text. So here's our insertion point. So I'm going to, a single click still highlighted everything. The next click just highlighted where the cursor is, and that's my insertion point. Okay. And click the title style, which is in the Home tab, Styles group. There's our Styles group, and we can also get to it. Let me see. Let's use it here. Styles group. And we want our title style. There's our title style. So you notice how I select that and it automatically changes this because that's where my insertion point was. So, and it says select the second line of the document, which is here. Click the book title style. So we still have this open, and now we want to find our book title style. There's our book title. Okay. And we want to, and this is how we can modify it if we wanted to. So all I did was it's set for the default. I clicked it. I can click here and it will actually give me all of the options if I wanted to modify the style or keep it the way it is. If I click update to match selection, then that will change my default for book title to be whatever I'm currently on. So it asks us to select book style. Okay, if necessary, click more style and display all styles. So we've got it because we scrolled all the way down. We've got our book title, and that's selected here. Now it says click the change case button, and that's in our Home tab, and it's in our font group, and we want to do uppercase. And here's our ability right here to change case. You can tell because it has an uppercase A and a lowercase a. If we click the down arrow, we have the ability to select one of these 5 options, right? And it wants us to select uppercase. So if I click here and click here, it's going to change the please to uppercase. Let me make sure that that's exactly what we wanted to do. Okay, so that was my mistake. I'm going to do a Command Z. We're going to back out of this. And it wanted us to select the entire line. So I should have done this to highlight. You notice how my cursor went from pointing to the left, it's now pointing to the right. Whatever line I'm on, when I select that, it will select the entire line. And we wanted this to be a book title. So it's going to do in bold, whatever the particular settings are. So now the entire line has been set. And now we want to change this to all uppercase. So I'm going to come back up here and hit uppercase. And you're going to see that it changed the entire sentence to all uppercase. And that's because I highlighted. Now I could have either clicked here or I could click at the beginning and dragged across and highlighted everything. Select the applicant's instructions. That's this. So again, I can click here and you see how I select everything. All right. Or I could click here, hold, and drag across, and I could select everything. I could also triple click and it will select everything. So there's many ways that you can highlight the text that you want to work on. When you're working with an entire line, the easiest thing to do is just move your cursor over to the left. When the cursor starts pointing to the right, click there, it will select the entire line. So now we want to apply the heading 2 style from the style gallery. Well, there's heading 1 and there's heading 2. So you notice how it indented it, it changed the color, and it did an underline. Well, that's because that is the selections that have been set for the heading 2. And you can see here, if we highlight it, it will give you some information about it. And you can also, as before, if we click the down arrow, I can modify the style to set whatever I want. Or if I wanted it to be a certain style that I already had, I could highlight that, then update to match that selection, and it would change style 2, or heading 2, I'm sorry, to equal whatever I highlighted. So now we've got style 2 selected for the applicant's instructions. So now it wants us to apply the strong style to the 3 words in all caps in the next paragraph. Okay, so if we scroll down, we'll see that the 3 words are in this paragraph: all, none, and then there's a second, there's none too. Okay, so in those 3 words, we want to apply the strong style. Okay, and that's going to be selected right here. So the way to do that is, I know I want all. Okay, and then if I hold my command key, I could select none by double clicking on it, and then continuing to hold the command key, I could then select this none. So now I have these 3 words selected, and I want to come in here, and what did it say? Strong. So I'm going to look in here and find strong. I'm going to click there, and that's what the strong is set for. It bolded the characters in all 3 words. Now, on the second page, so we want to scroll down. There is it says insurance application disclaimer right here. So now it said on the second page of the document, apply a heading of style 2. Again, let me move my page over. You're going to see cursor is the regular insert cursor. I move it over, it changes to pointing to the right. I click on that. I've now highlighted the entire line, which is what I want to do, and I want to apply a heading 2 style. Here's my heading 2 style. I click on it, and it matches my previous one. Okay, now we're going to actually modify this, is what I told you that we could do before. So it says modify an existing style. It says right-click heading 2 style in the style gallery and select modify. Okay, and the dialog box is going to open up. So heading 2 style, and I want to modify the style. Okay, now I'm going to get all the options to modify it, and it tells us we want to change the font size to 12 point. Here's our font size. We want to change that to 12 point. okay? And it gives you a little representation of what you have here or in your document so you can see what's happening. So it just increased the font. You want to click the Format button, which is down here, and select Paragraph, okay? Change the left and right indent to 0. Here's an indentation. We want the left and right to 0. Again, with it highlighted, I could hit the down arrow and it will continue to decrement it till I get to 0, okay? Or with the whole thing selected, I could just type a 0 and it will do the same thing. And we're gonna make sure that we put our inch mark in there. 0, click OK to close the paragraph. So we click OK, and then click only in this document radial button. So what that means is, you notice when I first opened the styles, this window over here, these are already set, and that's set as the default for Microsoft Word on your computer. Now, if you've never changed these are set default from Microsoft. What we're doing now is we've changed one, but we don't want to change the defaults for all documents. We only want to change this for this document. And it says, click only in this document. Let me see where. Let me just make sure. Following style, normal quote. Okay. Format. We changed it in paragraph. Oh, and it says Mac users skip this step and move right on to step 7G. So for a Mac, oh, excuse me, for a Mac user, there is no way to say change it just for this document. By default, it is only changing it for this document. On a PC, for a Windows user, you have the option to change it for just this document or change the default. If you wanted to change the default on a Mac user, for a Mac user, you would do it in your preferences, which is completely different. But here we're just skipping over and we're going to step 7G, which is click OK. And now you can see it not only changed this one, but if I scroll back up, it also changed this one. You remember how they were indented over? Well, because I changed the style, heading 2, wherever I had applied that style, it changed it throughout the document. Okay, now step 8 is we're going to add borders and shading to selected text. It says select the first 3 paragraphs below insurance application disclaimer on the second page. So we're going to scroll down, insurance application. It says select the first 3 paragraphs. So again, you remember how I said if the cursor changes to pointing to the right, you're going to select just a sentence, but we want to select the paragraphs. So the easiest way to do that is to click and hold at the beginning of the first paragraph and drag it all the way down to the end of the 3rd paragraph. Okay. And now we've got our text highlighted, just those 3 paragraphs. And we're going to click the borders, which is the drop down, click the borders drop down arrow on the Home tab, paragraph group, Home tab, paragraph group. Let me close our styles so we've got a little bit more room here. And let me, it says click the borders, Home tab, paragraph, and select borders and shading. Paragraph group. Okay, and it's saying click the borders drop down arrow, which is on the Home tab and paragraph group. So in our Home tab, this is our paragraph grouping, right? It's going to work with paragraphs. And so we're going to click here. This is our borders and shading. And we want to select borders and shading down at the bottom. Okay, we're going to get this window, and it gives you a diagram. And then we're going to let's see. So there's our borders. I just want to make sure that we're, yeah, okay, there we go. So just like it says in figure 2-102, we've got our, it's a little different because of based on the version of SimNet and the version of Word. You can see on the bottom of your instructions, it's actually saying that this is probably in 2005. So the formatting has changed slightly, but we're going to select custom in the setting area. Okay, borders and shading. Here's our custom. We're going to select the solid line border. Top border. There's our the first option in the style. So there's our solid line. This, and with the Mac, it doesn't always give you the hint option to tell you what it is, but you can see this is dashed. This looks like it's a dotted line, and this is our solid line. So we want to make sure we have the solid line selected in the style area. And then click the color drop-down list. Okay, here's our color. And select the 5th color in the first row. So that's our 5th color in the first row of the orange accent. Okay, here's our orange accent. 5th color. And we're going to set, this is orange accent, sorry, orange accent 1. It's the 5th color in the first row. Okay. So we selected that, and now it wants the width to be selected to 1 point. So I'm going to click the radio button. I've got 1 point right here. I select that. It now changed that to 1 point. It says click the left and right border buttons in the preview area. Here's our preview area, and it wants us to click the left and right. So we got left and right. And we want to apply it to the paragraph. Then we want to click the options button. Change the left and right settings to 5 point, 5 point, and 5 point. And we want to click OK here to close the border and shading options. Now we want to click on the shading tab, which is right up here. We're staying in the borders and shading. Now we're clicking on the shading tab. Click the fill drop-down list. Here's our fill. And select the 5th color in the second row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5th color in the second row. Okay. Click OK to close the borders and shading box. Okay, and you can see how it changed. If I click off of it, you can see how it changed the entire 3 paragraphs. It has them grouped together with the color, and the right and left, sorry, left and right borders have been selected. Okay. So now step 9 says change the paragraph spacing and add a tab stop with an underlined leader to selected text. Okay. So we're going to select the last 3 lines of text in the second page. Here's our last 3 lines of text. Okay. Click Format on the Word menu bar. All the way up here is the Word menu bar. This is the ribbon bar. This is the Word menu bar. Format, paragraph. Change the before paragraph spacing to 12 points. Before, we want to change that to 12. Oops, 12. Click the tabs button to open the tabs dialog box. Here's our tabs button, tabs dialog box. Okay. And we want to type 7 in the tab stops, 7. Click the radio button in the alignment. Sorry, click the right radio button. Click the solid underline. So here's a solid underline in the leader. Here's our solid underline. Click the plus button. Which added this down into our set of tab stops. So basically we created the configuration of our tab stop, which is 7 inches right solid underline, and we added it to our tab stops. And then click OK to close this. Okay. Click at the end of here and press Tab. And you can see that it underlined across the page all the way to the end. Okay. Repeat this for the next 2 steps. So rather than having to, use the lowercase or the hyphen, the dash, you could done that all the way across. You can create it, you can draw it. This is the way to do it in Word. I click here, I hit the tab saying I want to insert a tab, and I've defined what my tab is. There's my tab. And then I come over to the last one and I can hit this and again hit tab, and there we go. There's our 3 underlines. Now we're going to add a multi-level list to selected text and modify the list settings. Select the lines of the text beginning with applicant on the first page. So let's scroll over. Let's go up to applicant. Oops. First page, applicant. And then it wants us to go from applicant all the way down to if yes, please explain. Let's see. If yes, please explain right there. Okay, so it says if yes. So we want to select the lines of text beginning with the word applicant on the first page and ending with the last if yes, explain on the second page. So we want to make sure we go to the second page. And let's see, there's another if yes, explain. There's our last. So we want to select all of this. So I could start here and come all the way up to where applicant is. On the first page, there's applicant. Okay. Now we want to click the multi-level list, which is the home tab paragraph group, and we want to select one. So we want, this is our multi-level list. So here's our bullets, our numbering, and here's our multi-level list. Okay. So it wants us to select the 1 parentheses, A parentheses, and then I. So I'm going to click the down arrow, and it wants the first one, which is 1A. Nope, that's not correct. It wants 1A and then I option, which is this one. Right here. 1 parentheses, lowercase a parentheses, and then I parentheses. So I'm going to click there, and then we want to click the multi-level list button again. And we want to define new numbering format. Okay. Verify that level 1 is selected in customized outline number or customized number list. And we want to, level 1 is selected. Okay, 1 is selected. Set the number position for the first level to 0. So here's our number. Set the number position for the first level to 0. We want this set to 0. It is. And set the text position indent to 3. I'm sorry, 0.3. And there's 0.3. Click the checkbox next to align tab stop and set it to 0.3 as well. Okay. And click OK. All right. Now we want to increase indent on selected lines. Click anywhere in the list to deselect it. Okay, anywhere in the list. Place your insertion point in 13 in the numbered list. Okay. In 13, if yes, and click the increase indent button in the home tab. So here's our home tab. This is decrease. This is increase. So we're going to increase it, and you can see what happens. It increased it 1, and it changed it from 13. It changed it to 12, and then an A. Okay. Letter A and the following numbers automatically renumbered, right? So this was 14 because this was to 12, 13, 14. This is now 12, then A, and then 13. Repeat step B on each of the lines in the list that begins with if yes. So we're going to click here, and we're going to indent. We're going to click here, and we're going to indent. We're going to click here on number 19 now and indent. We're going to scroll down. We've got another one. Here we go, 21. We're going to indent. And then 22, we're going to indent. 23, indent. Continue to scroll. We've got another 25 is an indent now. 26 is an indent. 26 again. And then we got 28 is another if yes. Scroll down. And we got 29 is the last one, and we're going to indent that. Okay. The list should display 28 numbered items. When you finish the list, we have 28 numbered items. Now, step 12 is change the paragraph spacing on the multi-level list and add a right tab stop with an underline leader. So we want to select the entire multi-level list. Again, we're going to do it by, we can start here because we're already down here. We're going to come all the way up to the multi-level, which is right here. Okay, we've got the whole thing selected. Format on the word, and we're going to click paragraph again. And deselect the don't add space between paragraphs. Here we go. Don't add space between paragraphs of the same style. We want to deselect that. Click the tabs button. Here's our tabs button. We want a tab stop of 7. Click the right radial button, right. Click the solid underline. There's our solid underline. Click the plus. We want to add this in here. We just did. And click OK. Right. And then it said, click at the end of the first numbered item applicant and hit tab. So now we have to do this on each one of those. Okay, so actually to make this a little bit easier, I'm going to shrink this down. Well, that's a little bit too much. Right here. So I'm going to click here. It says repeat step I, which is to click at the end and then hit the tab on each of the numbered and lettered paragraphs. So we want to do tab here, tab here. So we're just going to continue to go down. And when we get down to here, because this is a lettered paragraph, we want to click that. We want to click here, and we're just going to continue all the way down. And you notice I'm clicking far enough after the end of the sentence or paragraph so that I don't click on the question mark or and get the tab started in the wrong spot. So you just want to click after the paragraph, the end of the paragraph. And we want to explain, and then one more time, and then that's it. Okay. Save the document. Save the document. Now it says we're going to insert a page break in the document. Okay. Place the insertion point before the text in number 22. Because what we have is we have a question or number 22 and 22A. They're split across 2 pages, which makes it a little bit more difficult to read. So if we select here at the beginning, okay, and then we want to do a command enter, and that's going to give us a page break. And you can see how it moves this down to the next page, and there's a page break at the end here. Now we want to add a page number in the footer of the document. So we want to place your insertion point at the beginning of the document, or you can press function command left arrow. So I'm just going to scroll up to the beginning of the document. Here's the beginning of the document. And then we're going to click insert tab. And then it says header and footer group. Here's our header and footer group. And we want to select page number. And we want page number. And then we have options of where we want to put the page number. And it says verify that bottom of the page footer is selected and is set to right. So it's the bottom of the page on the right-hand side. And it doesn't say we need to do anything else. We want to click OK. Right? And it says verify that bottom of the page footer. Alignment is set to right. Click OK. Click the blank line below the page numbers in the footer. And let me just make sure. Click the blank line below the page numbers in the footer and press backspace. So there's our footer. I double clicked on it and it says the blank line below the page number. Okay, see how the footer, let me come back up here. Let me hit the escape. I'm back to where I was. If I double click on where the footer is in the document, the very bottom, okay, now I have my footer. And as you can see, it says click the blank line below the page numbers of footer, press backspace to delete the blank line. Okay. Oh, sorry. Again, Mac users skip this step. Click the close header and footer button so we can close the header and footer. We're good. You can see how we have the number 1 at the bottom of page 1 on the right, and we have number 2 at the bottom of page 2. Okay, and okay, so now it says use find to locate a word in the document and insert a link to a place in the document. Okay, so we want to click in the search in document text box in the upper right corner of the Word application window. Click in the search in text box. Sorry, search in text box in the upper right corner of the Word application. Okay, there's our search in text. And we want to type disclaimer. Okay. Click the left and right arrows to see all the instances of the word. So you can see how it's looking. I typed in disclaimer. It's now going to find disclaimer, and it finds the first occurrence of it. And if I hit the right button, it's going to go to this. Actually, you can see because where I was in the document, it's actually the second of 2 occurrences. You can see on the screen that it has 2/2. So I was on the second occurrence of the word disclaimer in the document. And if I hit the right arrow, it's going to go back up to the first occurrence. And so this tells me I have 2 occurrences of the word disclaimer in this document, and I can go back and forth between them by hitting the left and right arrows. Okay, and it says navigate to the first instance of disclaimer on the first page of the document, and it says click the link button. It's on the insert tab in the links group. So we're going to click on the insert tab, and it's on the link group. Okay. Okay. And it says click this document. This document. Select the insurance application, and here's our heading. So we've got to expand them, and we have our insurance application disclaimer. Okay, so I want to click that. And now we want to hit screen tip button, and we want to set it so that it knows that we're going to go to the insurance application disclaimer. Okay. So we're going to set that as a dialog box, and then we're going to click OK. And now we want to select the word disclaimer. Okay. Just the word, not the period. And we want to apply bold. So we're back over here to the home tab. We're going to hit bold. And then we want to click on it. It's going to take us down to here. Okay. And click the linked word disclaimer to take you to the insurance application header, which it did. View the document in side-to-side page movement. We got to skip this step. And now we can save our document. And close it. And I want to save it one more time. Let me do on mine, I'm going to save it as, and I'm going to put it in a different location. Replace it. Okay. And then now you upload and save the document. So basically we took a unformatted document and created it so that it's more like an application where it has a series of multi-level steps, And if a step has a if this, then this, if yes, do this, it indents it one to add another layer. We set tab stop so we can tab and underline from the end of a sentence all the way to the end of the right margin. Change the formatting, change the styles, basically made the document more presentable. Okay, so that's the end of Guided Project 2-1, which is the week 3 project. I hope this helped. And once again, I'm going to put, the easiest way is going to be for me to put on the screen, bring up a Word document. I'm just going to bring up a new one. And I will bring this over. And again, this is Professor K. Let me increase this so it's easier to see. Professor K, this is my cell phone number. And here's my email address. So you can reach me, text me on my cell phone. If you have any questions or would like to go through anything, we can set up a time to go through things. You can also email me at that email address and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. I hope this was helpful and that it worked for you. Don't hesitate to reach out to me if you have any questions, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you.